7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
This is Eat and Drink with Ali Hassan and Marco Timpano, the podcast where back of house Ali and front of house Marco talk food and drink. Heads up, these two spent decades in restaurants, so some mature content and language is bound to come up. Get ready for Eat and Drink. Forks up.
All right, this is a special Eat and Drink.
Welcome to today's episode of Three Big Boys in a Booth. Huh? That's what's going on, basically. That's it?
It feels that way. And what's nice about this booth, too, is that I didn't have the AC on all day, so it's really warm, too, on this hot day.
I didn't get a chance to thank you for that. Thank you. Very, very considerate.
Kind of like a sauna.
Yeah, thoughtful. Good for our skin.
This is Ali Hassan.
Hi, this is Marco Timpano, and our special guest today
Is Chris Bond.
who's been referred to many times as Bondo.
That's right.
Bondo.
And
What's up, guys?
He gets very Italian, Marco.
Well, listen, Chris Bond is a dear friend of mine. And not only is a dear, close friend of mine, he also is a podcaster. And I'm so excited because he has a podcast called We Like Theme Parks.
That's right.
And with a mutual friend of ours, Mark Andrada's on it.
Andrada, shout out.
And your
And our partner, Dustin Foos,
who's awesome as well, very knowledgeable.
knows his stuff.
And you guys talk about your love for theme parks.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a theme park fan podcast where we talk about the Disney and Universal parks, anything that's going on, all the news, all just opinions, fun stuff.
And you guys go there annually, all three of you? You will go to...
We all make our own trips and sometimes together. And I know that Dustin was just there, and he's heading down again for Halloween Horror Nights.
I was listening, and it's kind of Ghostbusters, and you guys were talking about that and how they got to rent it from Sony, so they only have it for Halloween. I listened to it.
You actually listen,
I
Marco.
listen.
Well, the truth about all this podcasting business is that Marco got me into it.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
There you
Marco
go.
inspired me to get into this thing. And when I first started building it, I was like, Marco, what's a Yeti Blue? What is this
He
thing?
turns very Italian when we talk about podcasts.
Yeah.
But no.
Very interesting. Marco, I got into podcasts on my own.
Yeah.
Because of Marco, I'm thinking of leaving the business. So he has a little bit of a push-pull thing.
It's all about balance. It's all about balance.
Yin-yang.
But when you started your podcast, you said lovely things about our podcast. And I was like, you know what? We need to have him on. And I'd love to do a podcast talking about food at theme parks.
Yes.
And I was like, we could only fit one of them in the booth. So they drew straws.
Andrada could have been on my lap.
I guess. But it was like...
Just cradled around him like this. Yeah, okay.
No, but Chris, I called him up just the other day. I'm like, hey, are you free tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, what do you need? And boom, he's here.
I'm here in the booth, in the
booth.
box.
In the box. Okay, so let's talk about food at theme parks.
Sure.
Okay. What is important to you when you're at a theme park and you're looking for food?
It's tricky because when you're talking about let's lay this out first.
Sure.
There's theme parks and amusement parks. They're two different things.
Okay, I didn't even know
Okay,
this.
let's
I didn't
talk
know
about
that.
this. So I think the park that you guys are thinking of in your brain is an amusement park.
I
to be
believe
clear.
you're right about that.
So if you're going to a Six Flags, a Cedar Point,
Yeah.
you're going to the CNE, you're going to wherever you're going, we're talking about an amusement park, which is basically thrills. Whereas a theme park is themed attractions, storytelling, immersion, those kind of things. And nobody does that better than the Walt Disney Company and Universal Company. So most of our podcasts is about the Universal Studios, the Disney parks, and a couple other theme parks that might get a little bit of love. But really, it's those parks. So when you talk about food, I'm skipping amusement parks because amusement parks to me, it's what it's cotton candy and hot dogs,
Corn dogs,
and those kind
Funnel
of
cakes and,
Yeah,
and
sure.
bullshit
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
But whereas Disney and Universal take it to another level, food wise,
Yeah.
and if you're traveling to a Disney park or you're traveling to a Universal Studios, I would even say way more so a Disney. They have something for everybody, whether it's fine dining, casual dining, themed dining. Dining around the world. And also they have not only those iconic snacks that you would get at an amusement park, but their own version, which is just other wild ideas and other wild snacks that you go to that theme park, you got to have that one thing.
Okay, so what would be that one thing that you have to have at, let's say, Epcot?
Epcot Center?
Yeah.
A meat for Epcot Center is a turkey leg. I'm a turkey leg Epcot Center guy. I
So
like to
it's a
go-
full turkey leg.
It's a full turkey.
And
About
you
the
wa-
size of your forearm,
Something
probably,
like
right?
that. Yeah,
It's
that's
massive,
right. Yeah, all the ligaments
You
in
hold
there.
it like Fred Flintstone style. You
Yeah,
hold
you could bonk somebody over the head with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's delicious. It's beautiful. But there is you can go to Epcot Center,
Yeah.
and I know you've been.
I have.
And first of all, you're at the World Showcase, so you can dine around the world.
For
And-
those who don't know about Epcot, it is a theme park
Mm-hmm.
that has different places in the world represented in little areas.
That's right.
And you walk into those little pavilions or areas, and there could be a ride, and there's things that you would see in that place. So, for example, Italy has like a Venice kind of look to it, and you walk
Yeah.
around and you see fountains and
And
stuff like
Epcot
that.
Center, if I'm not mistaken, originally was a site where Space Shuttle took. Is that what Epcot Center is?
Epcot Center,
What was
when
it originally?
when it came out in 1982, basically what it was Walt's idea of a utopian tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, it wasn't.
Okay.
Epcot has nothing to do with space.
Yeah,
I don't know why he talks like this because
NASA-
Well,
Well,
no,
look,
hold on.
look,
The marquee. I'm going to save Ali here. The marquee attraction with the ball. You know the big ball.
Yeah.
Is called Spaceship Earth. So I think that's what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
And inside is a ride about communication.
Ah, it's a
and-
ride. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, but it's
Okay.
not a rocket ship. But there is, if you think Tomorrowland at Disney World, there was a rocket ship ride. Mission to Mars had a big rocket ship. But when we talk about Epcot Center, what it was we're talking about Future World, which is half the park, which has all the kind of advances in technology. Walt wanted people to see tomorrow. So whether it was automotive or whether it was health, under the water, all these unique pavilions. And then the other half of Epcot Center is the World Showcase, and that's all the different pavilions around the world.
Okay.
And all the different, whether they have an attraction or dining, they have all this.
It's like a World Expo in that
Yeah,
respect.
exactly what it was. Because if you know your Disney history, he got basically started at doing those World Fairs.
this is Walt.
Walt was hired by the Pepsi company to make
Right.
attractions at the World's Fair.
Okay.
So he made It's a Small World.
Sure.
That was kind of the big start for the park, and then he ended up putting those rides in the park. So when you talk about food,
And
in
just
Disney
to
parks-
interrupt for 1 second,
Please.
that creak you heard was me opening the door because it was getting too hot, so I let some cold air
Oh,
in.
this just beautiful,
Yeah, it's
like
so because
important.
we were
waft
melting.
of cool air just cruise. I hope it got to you, Ali.
But
I
might have.
was getting so damp.
Yeah.
I
on
think I
my
soaked
chest
a lot
and
of it
back.
up.
No. This is amazing.
But I cut you off before.
Yes.
So just continue from there because we got
Absolutely. So what I'll say is that when you're going on a Walt Disney World vacation,
Yeah.
which is such an expansive land, there is so much to it. It's not just a theme park.
Sure.
It's 4 theme parks.
Right.
It's 2 water parks. It's a whole town. It's a
Yeah.
Disney town, and there are food and culinary experiences
Right.
all over the town. Whether you're eating in the theme park or whether you're eating at your hotel, because a lot of these hotels are themed and unique hotels, so they'll have unique and culinary experiences or food experiences.
Tell us your favorites,
Oh boy!
or tell
Wow.
us a couple of unique ones.
Sure.
Quit
I
bossing
mean,
them around. Let them talk.
well, I don't know. I mean, it's like there's.
No, I want to get to the food. He's
But the
talking
thing
about
is,
this.
it's
go
true,
here,
yeah,
this
the
and that,
history of the
whatever,
theme park,
yeah,
you're right,
fucking
you
Walt
know.
Disney made it.
No, you know why I like that actually, Chris. On a serious note, I said this to Marco before. I have children. I have 4 kids, so you have to sort of like plan vacations properly.
Absolutely.
Now, a water park that's close by, that kind of works for me. Disney, I never went as a child, and I feel like I'm okay. A couple of maybe rage issues, but in general, I'm all right. I made
yeah.
it, you know. But with my kids, I'm like, it's the money that we could, spend on Disney. Why don't we go to a country and learn something about that culture and all that? So what you did without knowing it is give me quite a little sales pitch.
Wow. Well,
In that Epcot Center, because I forgot about the Epcot Center. I
Right.
think about like Disney World, Disneyland, and I think of like Mickey. I think of the commercialization,
Sure.
and that's the part that I don't like.
well, that's all there.
It's
You ain't
all
gonna
there,
miss it.
but,
It's
but
still
you
there.
just talked to me about half of it being about the future. It's almost got like a museum feel to it. In my
Yeah,
mind, the way you're
it's
describing it.
progressive. It's about, and that's what Epcot Center was supposed to be. And then the Animal Kingdom Park is like a zoo. It's like a zoo on crack. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
okay.
attractions, but there's live animals, and now they have the Pandora world of Avatar. I mean, there's all kinds of different theming and storytelling. Part of it's educational. Most of it is entertainment.
That boat ride in Pandora's box there
Yeah.
was garbage.
It's all
I
right.
didn't
It
like
is
it.
garbage.
Waited in line for so long. You go on a little boat and little
It
jellyfish.
was nice.
Anyways,
The jellyfish is cool stuff.
Okay.
Listen, theme parks are not for everybody, but the food in it is.
Okay, so tell us about
Okay?
that.
So when we talk about food, the first thing like I said again, there's something for everybody.
Okay.
If you like fine dining, there is tons of fine dining
Right.
to be found all over the
So
Walt
tell
Disney
us.
World
Tell
property.
us.
One of the nicest ones is in the Canadian Pavilion at the Epcot Center. It's called Le Cellier. It's a Canadian steakhouse. Delicious. There's Victoria and Albert's is a restaurant that's the finest restaurant in all of Disney World. I can't say I've eaten there, but Dustin, my partner on the We Like Theme Parks podcast, glows about this place. It's what is it, $250 just to sit down.
No, thank
for
you.
the chef's
I'm
table.
in.
No.
I've gone that far. Why not?
But you're already spending so much at the theme park. Now you're going to dish another $250. But
My
see, you got to
kids-
spend to get in it.
Oh, you got to spend a good.
It's $100 and some odd bucks to get
Well,
to that.
but the thing is, Victoria and Albert's is in a hotel.
Oh, it's
So
in
you
a
don't have to
hotel, okay.
pay. That's why
Oh,
some
okay,
of these
okay.
restaurants are in the parks, some
Okay.
of them are in the hotels. You might like a themed dining experience. The Star Wars land is opening up right now.
Right.
Okay, and they have Olga's Cantina, which is essentially, you've all seen Star Wars. Remember the villain bar, and the guy gets his hand cut off. So now you can go there and you can have a drink.
Oh man, I was
Spoiler from '77. Spoiler.
Way to ruin
Han
it
Solo
for a
shot
bunch of us.
first. You can go there and you can
Yeah,
have
okay,
a
but
weird
Chris, enough
Star
with
Wars
this
drink.
you can go there business.
You wanna
Where
know
do
what I-
you go?
All right.
Because we got you in the studio. We
I'm
don't
here.
have Disney's rep in the studio.
Oh my goodness.
Fair?
Bossy,
Fair.
but fair.
Okay.
Fair. Okay. Well, I'll tell you some of my favorite
Yeah,
restaurants. How
tell
about that? Disney Springs,
Okay.
which I know you spend a lot of time at.
I've been to almost all the restaurants. I
know.
printed it out for you
You did,
so I can
know.
go tete to tete with you.
Okay. I like Homecoming. Homecoming's my favorite.
Homecoming is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's
What does that
fantastic.
mean? What is that?
It's-
So why is it called that?
Chef Art
Smith.
Smith, who was Oprah's chef,
Oh.
is from Northern Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and so he made a restaurant that is a homage to his style of cuisine when he growing up, like this Floridian, this Southern style.
It's like
food.
Southern American food.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese, like pulled pork,
Yeah.
like barbecue, but American cuisine.
Yeah.
But done with like an artisan zeal.
Yeah.
You know
Okay.
what I mean?
That's
It's
a great way to describe
it. Yeah, it's delicious. I mean, but it's delicious. And it's one of my favorites.
And I would say it's in my top 3.
Ooh. Well, then let's turn it to you. What are your other two?
Okay,
Hit me.
let's.
This is exciting.
I want to hear if you agree or disagree,
All right.
and Ali, you can chime in or just let those tears roll because you haven't been to Disney.
I could fix that. I could fix that.
House of Blues.
For food?
For food, I went to the Gospel
Really?
Brunch. You don't think I think the
I know
food
you
at-
went to the Gospel
But
Brunch.
I also think the food
Yeah.
at House of Blues is fantastic.
I haven't eaten there yet.
Oh my God! Have you been to a
I've
House
been
of
House
Blues?
of Blues in Chicago.
And?
Mediocre at
Mediocre.
best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm at Disney Springs.
Yeah.
And some of the places you go there just wreck you
Yeah.
for price and quality of food.
Yeah.
So I'd say Homecoming. I would say
of Blues.
House of Blues.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I went to Bongos just recently.
Bongos is all right.
Bongos is garbage.
It's all
so
right.
here's
It's
what
Cuban food, right?
This is my problem with Bongos. So that's Gloria Stefan's restaurant.
Oh, yes. yes.
Okay?
Come on, baby. Move your body. Do that. Eat at bongos. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, all right.
So here's the thing. If you're going to be this big celebrity and you're going to have a restaurant, I have an expectation. I have an expectation that you care. Not that you're in, Paris singing your concert and not looking after your restaurants.
I'm with you.
Surely Emilio has a cousin or a brother who's not doing anything, who you can send to the restaurants to make sure that they check all the boxes.
You
all
say
right?
Emilio?
Yeah, her husband, Emilio.
Estevez?
Yeah, isn't that
Esteban is married to Estevez?
no? Isn't that her husband's name? Emilio. Yeah, Emilio Estefan. Gloria Estefan.
No,
Emilio
it's Gloria Estefan and Emilio Estevez. They're two different. They're
no,
not,
guys.
are
Yeah.
they married? Is that a thing? I
No,
don't know.
it's not. It's not Charlie Sheen's brother.
Emilio
son.
Estefan is a different person.
Look it up.
Oh,
Look it
okay.
up because
Okay.
now
All right.
now I feel like an asshole.
I will listen.
Either way, what did you eat at Bongos?
I had what the hell did I have? Amanda had the Cuban sandwich, I think.
Yeah.
No, she had the veal milanese, the chicken
Yeah,
milanese,
yeah.
and I had something that was meh and expensive.
Okay.
And I went to the bathroom or the washroom or the restroom, whatever you want to call it, and some of the tiles were broken and they just put caulking really messily. And this is what I hate about this restaurant. So it's 2 floors, right?
Yeah.
And we were on the top floor, and they don't cook on the top floor. They do if it's really busy. They have a kitchen there, but what they do is they cook on the bottom floor, and then they have to march it up all these stairs to bring it to you in the top floor. and their elevators aren't efficient for the waiters to use the elevator. So sometimes they'll go on it, but it takes forever, or they take the stairs. So the food was not at its right temperature by the time it hit my table.
How high up is this second floor?
It's ill-conceived the way they made this
Okay.
restaurant, because it has a spiral staircase that takes you up, or elevators that are kind of off to the side that are not fast or efficient, and they don't have one dedicated solely to staff. But as a guest, you would also take those elevators. So sometimes the waiters will take the elevators, they'll wait for them, food getting cold, or they'll walk up all these spiral staircases to get it to you.
Food also getting cold.
Right. So it's like you have a kitchen upstairs. If you're not going to use it, then just see people downstairs. So my experience at Bongo's wasn't great. And I blame Gloria Estefan.
Emilio Estefan is his name.
Okay, and her husband, because
Yeah.
surely they have a rancid cousin who's not doing anything in Miami that they could send there to look after the place and say, make sure that it's good. So that's
you
one of
say
my
rancid
yeah,
cousin?
like some lazy cousin.
Maybe
You know,
that's exactly
we
what
all
they
have
did.
one. We
That's
all have
exactly what they did. That's why you're not getting the respect in that
Maybe.
restaurant. Maybe.
That's why the bathrooms are gross.
Yeah.
That restaurant is on the chopping block.
Okay.
I feel like that's on its last legs.
Okay.
Because they keep continuing to improve.
Yep.
Disney Springs, I mean, you would know more than I do. You're there more often.
Have you been to the Edison?
I haven't eaten there yet, but I know of it. It's a steampunk, kind of modern. Is it modern American?
Yeah, it
fare?
is.
It's,
And I thought it was gonna. I avoided it because this
kind of a
whole
hipster heaven.
Yeah, this steampunk. When I think of cuisine, I don't. Steampunk isn't the first thing that comes to me. All right.
Yeah.
So we begrudgingly went because we're like, let's go to all the restaurants. We got to try it, and it was fantastic.
This is the number 3.
The food is
This is number
very
3.
good.
Yeah, fantastic.
number
yeah,
3.
fantastic. Yeah.
I can't say I've eaten there yet, but I've read lots of reviews,
Okay.
and they are very similar.
Yeah, I would
reviews.
recommend it.
But some of my favorite restaurants, Ohana, which is in the Polynesian restaurant. Have you eaten there before?
No, I haven't.
So it's Polynesian fare. So it's a lot of pineapple bread and coconut this and big prawns and sausages, like family inspired eating. And what you do there is you go in the evening time and you watch the fireworks over the bay.
Oh, wow.
So it's more of an experience, right? It's not just the food. It's you're in the tiki town here and you're enjoying this great food. But meanwhile, there's beautiful vistas of all this fireworks and
Sure.
such. Just keeping with the Polynesian thing, I got to mention
No, please.
the Dole Whip. I'm sure you've heard of a Dole Whip. No,
I
no.
have only because of you, but
Okay.
otherwise I wouldn't.
So the
know
Dole
it.
Whip was is probably the quintessential Disney treat.
Okay.
Thing to eat, and it's basically like a pineapple ice cream with
So
pineapples.
Dole, as in DOLE,
As in the company.
Yeah. Okay.
So when they opened the Disney many moons ago, and they had the Polynesian Hotel, they brought in an attraction called the Enchanted Tiki Room. I'm sure you guys are familiar.
Yeah, yeah.
You know the little birds that sing?
I've been to a couple of tiki rooms in my life. Yeah. No, I know.
But
this is
an attraction
yeah.
at Disney where they have these audio animatronic birds that sing.
It's great.
And they sing the tiki
flowers.
room. Yeah, and the flowers
You
and
sit in this round room, and there's just young people and old people, and you're just sitting there after like being in lines and whatnot. It's nice and cool.
Yeah.
And for 15 minutes or whatever it is,
Yeah.
you're just in an experience watching little birds sing, and it's really fun.
So the part of the experience is you watch the birds sing, and there's some beautiful music and some beautiful vistas, and then you go outside, and there's a terrace, and the Dole Company was a sponsor of this ride, or this attraction rather, and then they had this pineapple stand outside where they had this offering called the Dole Whip. And this is, again, back in the 70s, and now it is the treat, and you can... I mean, people go to Disney to have the Dole Whip.
But what is it?
It's like a pineapple ice cream. It's like a pineapple ice cream with some sliced pineapple in it. That's all it is. It's
Okay.
pineapple ice cream from Dole. So it's not that wild. That was me.
Okay.
But it's delicious. It's great. The churro. The churro is a big thing in Disney. I'm just thinking about snacks right now. Right now, there's these kind of snacks, but there's also themed snacks. For instance, I'm sure we've all been to or know about Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So if you go to somewhere like Universal Studios, you can go and get butterbeer, and you can try it yourself.
Which I did, yeah.
Yeah, and you can get it either a slushy version or a non-slushy version, and they have it essentially tastes like cream soda.
Pretty much. Like
Would you-
really
would you-
sweet. Like
really sweet.
And they put a dollop of like...
Hermione's urine in it.
Just a drop.
just a drop.
It's
no,
nice.
like cream. Like they do like a
Yeah, there's like a
little-
froth on the
Yeah.
top. It's creamy.
What's
It's
the other
great.
one? It's butterbeer, and there's the pumpkin one.
Pumpkin
Ale or something?
something.
Yeah.
like that.
Could it be mead?
No, but
That sounds,
Yeah.
kind of wizardy and
Yeah.
warlocky.
Yeah.
On the Star Wars side of things, if you know your Star Wars, now they offer the blue milk that you could drink in. I'm sure you've seen Star Wars. They have blue milk.
Right.
So now you can go to Star Wars Land in Batuu, which is actually just opening in Florida this week. It opened up in May in California at Disneyland, and you can get the blue milk.
Okay, so let me ask
There's
you.
even a boozy blue milk.
Let me ask you this, Chris.
Yes, yeah.
Do you think that blue milk is going to play, or do you think it's just going to be the fad for now? Because if I'm not mistaken, they had a green eggs and ham kiosk that would
Yes.
make the eggs green,
Yep.
but it wasn't very popular with the guests. Is that fair? Can you just walk
That's
us
correct.
through that?
So at Universal's Islands of Adventure, there was a Seuss Land,
Right.
Dr. Seuss Land, and you could actually buy your green eggs and ham. And people would walk up to the stand and buy them, and take a selfie with the green eggs and ham, and promptly throw it in the garbage because it tasted horrible.
Right.
So you're right. Nobody eats them, but people bought them.
It looks gross. Like it looked kind of.
It is gross.
Okay.
People didn't eat it. But the butterbeer, I mean, the Universal Company has made a mint and millions and millions of dollars
Just on that.
of selling these butterbeers.
Wow.
Like bonkers.
And is it butter and beer?
No, have you read the Harry Potter books?
I've not read any of the books. I've seen the
that's-
first two films.
Okay, so butterbeer is what the wizards drink in Hogsworth.
Yeah, they
And,
think
But
it's
what is the product? What do you drink?
it tastes
Like
like,
a
a
root beer
cream.
type
It
of
tastes
thing.
like a cream soda.
That's what you guys.
yeah.
Okay, so I've had
It's
it.
a little thicker,
I've had it at Ribfest.
Okay.
and they sold it as
Butterbeer?
butterbeer.
Yeah. I'm 100% sure. That's
But
what
it's
I've
not
seen it
beer- it's not
somewhere.
actual beer.
No, it's
Okay.
not. It's like a root beer.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you had a Ribfest?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. Is that? Yeah.
Okay.
Are they breaking some laws?
I don't know. Some wizards flew over there and made a batch. Who knows? But I think the funner thing here is that Disney is trying to create an experience for you, right? So if you're into Star Wars, you can live Star Wars by eating the Star Wars food,
Sure.
drinking the Star Wars drink. Same thing in the world of Pandora, or even you can have a LeFou's Brew, which is Gaston's pub. You can go to
Okay.
Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, and you can drink his beer, and it gets very
Okay,
cream soda.
let me ask you something for my pal Ali here.
Yes.
Okay, so he has a big family.
Yeah.
And if he's going to go to Disney and order food,
Yep.
it's going to break the bank a little bit. Fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you do when you have a big family and you go to a theme park? Like, what would your recommendation be? Whether it be Universal, whether it be Disney, whether it be... Oh, and I want to ask you about Disney Japan and Disney Paris, the
Yes,
food there. But
yeah,
like,
yeah.
if you're going to a park, a theme park, even a Six Flag, I know that's an amusement park and not a theme park. How do you approach the food when you're going with a big family?
First step is know what your kids eat and know what you eat. And I'm talking more about volume than anything else.
Sure.
Because in every theme park and every amusement park now, if you go on their website, there is going to be a dining program or something that you can pay for, which is really simple and easy. You pay a flat rate, and then you can just walk up and order. You don't have to pay.
Okay.
It's all done. There might be a bit of a perk to do it. Now, there can be a value, actually a good value, but if your kids don't eat that much, or might not want to eat that kind of food, then it's not a good value.
Okay.
So if you go to Disney World, there's something called the dining plan. In fact, they're offering it free right now. I hate to be a salesman.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you're booking right now to go this winter, as long as you pay full pop on the tickets and the hotel, they'll give you the food for free.
So that means, let's say Ali's with his family. As long as
Yeah.
he stays in a Disney hotel,
Yeah.
he can eat in the park for free?
in the park,
Anywhere in the
hotel.
park.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Yep, there's like a credit system that they use.
Yeah.
And certain foods are worth X amount of credits.
Sure. Okay,
and,
fine.
So you wouldn't be able to go to like a Victoria and Albert's, which is like very fine dining.
Yes.
That might cost a couple of meals because it's like a $250 thing.
Of course.
But you can go to any counter service, any kind of standard table service fare, and boom. But if you want to do some of the more unique experiences, that might cost more. But as far as simplicity goes, makes it really easy if you got a big family.
Sure.
But I mean, if your kids are going to pick at food, you're going to pay. It's not cheap.
Right.
So I would rather just kind of do it a la carte. And knowing your kid, my kids right now, I have a 2 and a 4-year-old, and they're super picky about what they eat.
Right.
So I know that a dining plan might not have a ton of value. I actually try to, because I try to be a little bit cheaper with things. I just do a big Walmart order, and so my kids, we're just eating granola bars and yogurts and things for breakfast, and then we're going to do something fun food-wise. Like we're going to blow the bank and do something like Be Our Guest, where you can eat at the Beast's Castle and be in the big ballroom and have the rose, and then there's the East Wing that's haunted, and you can eat in these spaces, and you can try the gray stuff. It's delicious. You can actually eat that.
Okay.
You kept picking up with these references.
Yeah, it's from the song,
it's all
right?
from, it's all from Beauty and the Beast.
Don't believe us? Ask the dishes.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. Yeah.
Very proud of himself.
Well done, Marco. Yeah.
Okay, so can I give you another tip when you're at Disney Springs? Because I feel like I'm the expert at Disney
You
Springs.
are, yeah.
Because I go there for work, and our hotel is near Disney Springs, so we eat there.
Yeah.
So Marimoto has a restaurant there.
Son.
And I ate there the first time, great experience. After that, it was like, it's good, but it's expensive for the sushi that I'm getting. I don't feel like it's anything out of this world, and not anything that I haven't had in my own hometown for less is how I felt, right? So then I went to Splitsville. Splitsville is the bowling complex or the bowling alley that's there, right? And I was told the food there was really great, and they have sushi on the menu. For half the price that you would spend at Marimoto, I would argue or challenge that the sushi is better at the bowling.
Better, not even as good.
Splitsville.
Better. And I talked to the server, the waiter, and I said to her, I'm like, this sushi is fantastic. She goes, I know. I go, in some ways, I think it's better than Marimoto. She goes, this is not the first time I've heard of it. And she goes, we have great sushi chefs here, and people don't realize that because it's a bowling alley.
It's called Splitsville.
Splitsville, yeah.
Splitsville,
It was Dale, our friend,
us.
our friend Dale Boyer said, go try the sushi at Splitsville, and no word of a lie, fantastic. And like the price was much lower. Yeah. It's a way to.
I've heard that Morimoto Asia is very expensive.
Yeah.
So the good steer clear from there and go to Splitsville. I will say, when you're in the parks, have you tried some of the more themed dining experiences?
Some.
Because there's a lot of fun stuff. Have you been to Trader Sam's in the Polynesian Hotel?
No.
It's like
it's like
a tiki bar, and you order drinks. And then the tiki god erupts, and the volcano goes, and a lot of fun stuff like that. The sci-fi dine-in theater, where you're sitting in like a drive-in theater eating your food in like a car.
I didn't try that. I've seen
it's at Hollywood Studios. Yeah. That's a ton of fun. The Garden View Tea Room in the Grand Floridian, you can have proper high tea.
Yep.
I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, which I am.
So I was at the Floridian,
Yeah.
and I ordered a cappuccino, and it was so bad. Now they
Really?
they dusted
Yeah.
they dusted the image of Mickey on it, right?
Nice.
And so I ordered this cappuccino, and one of the things I hate is when they bring you, and it was like $8.95 for this cappuccino, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm here.
Yeah.
The Floridian, everybody talks about how great it is.
Super fancy, yep.
Fancy, really pretty, blah blah. Because one time we went to Orlando for work, and Amanda and I were like, let's just hop on the monorail and go to the hotels and have like a bite to eat at each hotel.
Right.
It's not going to cost us anything. And
Hotel hopping.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
So I'm like,
Why is it not going to cost you anything?
Because we're not in a park. We're just kind of like visiting the lobby of a
But
hotel.
it'll cost you to eat those at those.
Yeah,
Oh, of
exactly.
course,
That's
of
what it
course,
will cost.
Yeah, okay.
So I get this bowl already, and I'm like, oh man, it's a bowl. That's not a cappuccino. But they're serving this giant bowl. I'm like, I get it. We're in Orlando. We're in the States. Everything's bigger. They give me this bowl. It has a beautiful Disney cinnamon design on it. I'm like, all right. I put it to my mouth and I drink it. I'm like, this is the worst, right? And Amanda's looking at me. I'm like, and she can tell. And she's like, tell them. I'm like, no, I don't want to.
Oh, absolutely.
And she's like, you're spending $8.95 for a cappuccino and you're not happy? Tell them.
For sure, man.
And so I turned to her and I'm like, I'm really sorry, but I can't drink this. She goes, oh, no problem. You want us to remake it? I'm like, no. She goes, I can put a syrup in it. I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for
I
here.
didn't think this could be worse, but I think you just came up with an idea of how it could be worse.
So I'm like, just bring me drip coffee. And I had a drip coffee and we had breakfast and it was great. And they were lovely. I wanna stress that. They, with my particularities with cappuccinos, they were like, we're Disney, we'll make it right. And they did.
That's great.
Yeah.
Everybody, when they're there, I feel everyone has their own palate and what they're looking for.
Sure.
And I have a very American palate. I want junk food.
Sure.
I want that corn dog. Ali, when you said corn dog
I like
20
corn
minutes
dogs,
ago,
too. Oh, yeah.
I got excited about it. So, and if you go to Disneyland, they have the Red Wagon. It's kind of like, it's an iconic wagon that's on Main Street, USA. And they have these jumbo corn dogs. I've taken videos of myself just slowly eating this corn dog. By myself, privately, a little, intimate corn dogging. So that's my kind of jam. I want to get that churro. I want to get that unique park food. The fine dining stuff, I can take it or leave it, to be honest. Now, I have had some fine dining experiences. You wanted to talk about Tokyo.
Yeah, let's talk Disney Tokyo.
Yes.
Okay.
So the best restaurant in all
You took
the
the kids
Disney
to this?
universe.
No.
Yeah, we
You
went.
did? Okay.
Yeah, just a few months ago, we all piled in a plane and went down to Tokyo. Magellan's Restaurant in Tokyo Disney Sea is kind of the pinnacle of fine dining.
Now, Magellan is not a character from one of the films.
No.
Magellan is the explorer.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I just want to set that
That's
straight.
no, that's right. So
Okay.
he has this exploration fortress, and inside the fortress is this very expensive restaurant. And we had some very fancy food. My kids fell asleep at the table, but I just wanted to tick a box.
But Magellan can't compete with Aladdin. Like you'd think they would do okay, kids, I got to take you to Magellan's restaurant. Who?
Well,
He was this
it's for the
Portuguese
parents.
explorer.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, one of the things they do that's unique to Tokyo is they're really into popcorn. So every kid you see walking around with a popcorn box.
Okay.
These unique boxes, whether it's a Nemo box or it's a Minnie Mouse box or a Buzz Lightyear box, and there's a
Captain Hook box.
You got it. There's just boxes all over the place. So you can go and get popcorn, and the popcorn is all different flavors, but they're very Asian-inspired flavors.
Okay.
So like garlic prawn is a flavor, right? There's like a Thai flavor. There's actually Mark Andrada has been to Tokyo and had tried almost all the popcorn flavors. He might be the guy to talk more about that, but
I love it.
it's a big part
I
of
love
the
a student.
Yeah, a student of the popcorn.
Of the popcorn.
Yeah.
That's good.
So their Dole Whip in Tokyo is the popcorn.
Oh, okay.
And I would say if you line up a row of 10 patrons there, 7 of them have these popcorn things. So my kids were just like, yeah, popcorn. So we were just eating popcorn all day long.
Okay.
But then you're like, here, try this popcorn. They're like, it tastes like fish. Well, you're in Tokyo.
But how was Magellan's restaurant?
Magellan's was fantastic. It was delicious.
What'd you eat? What kind of food was it?
I'm trying to remember what I ate.
Explorer food? Is it like,
I had some kind of like chicken marsala, I think it
Okay.
was, and it was nice. It was very nice. My wife had a steak. She really enjoyed it. It was. I mean, there wasn't a lot of options. As one of these, like, this is what you're eating. Eat it. It's
Okay.
amazing, and it was.
Those are the places you don't want them to be too authentic, Sir, the slaves on the lower deck prepared this for you. Oh, man, too on brand. Can we
Too on
do-
brand.
oh,
Just put it in my mouth. I don't want to know where it comes from. So that was great, and then some of the tables or the counter service was a little more trying because it was. Again, if you're a guy like me, I like my pizza, I like my burgers.
Okay.
You're in Tokyo, they'll have the burgers and the pizza, but it's not quite burgers and pizza. It's
that you grew up
Right.
it's a Tokyo version, so it tastes kind of funky. Like a hot dog in Tokyo is not a hot dog here.
Right.
So it's just a unique thing. So I would say don't eat it. Eat the local stuff.
Well, yeah,
Eat
that's
the
a
sushi.
good idea,
Eat-
because
don't-
it's the same way Marco and I always talk about this. Vegans shoot themselves in the foot sometimes by calling it a vegan hamburger or whatever, for
Right.
example.
Yeah.
If you'd called it like a cutlet or something, then I would have been on board. But now you're making me compare hamburger and hamburger, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to work. It's
Yeah.
just not going to. You
That's
cannot
smart.
tell me it's the same. So the same thing goes for Tokyo. Oh, pizza, like we have pizza. But the cheese comes, it's completely different on that side of the world. No matter
Yeah.
where you go, India, Pakistan, it's the same thing. You don't find cheese,
Yeah.
the flavors of which we have gotten accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
Meat tastes a little bit different, all this stuff. So you're better off going with what they've perfected.
Yeah,
Or-
call it something else.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
like the goofy sushi in Tokyo Disney must be amazing.
Yeah.
Or is it the
It's-
John Cabot sushi? Like, what are they calling it?
No, it's a goofy sushi.
Okay.
Actually, if you've been to Tokyo, it's Mickey Mouse isn't the top dog there.
Oh.
It's Duffy the Bear. He is the signature character.
You know who that is?
No.
Okay.
He's him and Mickey are essentially.
But wait, who's
one
Duffy
A,
the
one B.
Bear? Is he from Bear Necessities or?
No, he's just his own thing. So Duffy the Bear. When Tokyo opened their park, and remember that the Tokyo parks aren't owned by Disney; they're owned by the Oriental Land Company.
But is it still called Tokyo Disney?
Yep, it's a full license. They have a big partnership with Disney. It's a franchise,
Yeah.
but they make the best parks in the world in Tokyo. They spend the most money, and they're glorious. So they said, "Well, we have Mickey, and we paid for Mickey, and we love Mickey, but we want to have our own guy." So they made Duffy the Bear, and Duffy the Bear is just a stuffed bear,
Oh, that's amazing.
and he's everywhere. And Duffy's the guy. So it would be Duffy shrimp combo.
Okay.
Get ready for some Duffy. So when you come over there, my daughter has a little Duffy purse, and Duffy has a girlfriend named Shelly May. So Devin has a Shelly May purse.
you go.
Anyway, there
So
you
let's
go.
hop from Tokyo Disney to Paris. Paris
Disney World, it's
What's it called?
No,
Disney.
It's
Le Disney.
No, it's Disneyland Paris.
Okay.
Okay.
You're getting a lot of those same iconic things that you would get because again, Disney owns that park, right?
Disney owns that one.
Disney
They're not
owns-
licensed.
they
They're
own
not
it.
licensed.
Yeah, they're not a license.
So
They own every
could I
other Disney
get
park.
Disney escargot, a little thing, and I eat them as I go? They have that.
I mean, you can get that in Florida. You can go to the French Pavilion.
Okay, fair
and
enough.
You can go to. Well, I got.
But I thought it would be like
the
the popcorn. You have a little bowl, a little bucket, a cauldron of escargot
a
that you're
little-
eating and throwing shit.
a little mini cauldron.
Okay.
You buy a baguette. It's shaped like Mickey Schlong. I want authenticity over here.
I want to really taste Mickey's legit schlong. So I feel like you're getting a combination of both worlds. You're getting all the French cheeses and creams
Yum.
and culinary experiences matched with the American stuff. The hot dogs, the corn dogs,
Okay.
the Dole Whips, the signature Mickey Mouse ice cream bar, which is a big thing. So you can get those things. You have access to it. So it's a little bit of everything. But
What did you
if
have
you're
there?
in Europe and you live there, you live in Paris,
Sure.
you live in France, you probably want an American burger as opposed to the thing you're already eating
Fair.
all the time. You want to try something from somewhere else, and that's why you go there. As opposed to when we go there, we're like, oh, I want the French thing.
Sure.
And that's why they have Epcot, and you can go and you can eat. I don't know if you've tried this with your wife. Have you tried eating around the world at Epcot Center?
We got to Epcot really early because we
Yeah.
had this we got passes because we were working in the hotel we were at. It was like a big conference, so
Yeah.
we were able to get inexpensive passes. So we get there really early, and I needed my coffee, and I'm like, all right, we got to head to Italy because if anybody's going to have coffee, it's going to be Italy, and I need it in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And so we go there, and what's neat is everybody who works there is from that country. So if you're
right.
in Norway, they're all like students or people who are on sojourn or whatever,
Yeah.
working.
They're all students.
Students who are working there for the summer or whatnot, and so they were all Italians. I'm like, where can I get a really good coffee? I say to the woman in
Just
town,
say
she goes,
France?
She's like, the only good coffee here is at my house. She's like, she goes, I never drink coffee. I'm like, this is not starting well. I'm like, just make me the best espresso macchiato you can. And it was good. Was it great? No, but was it good for a theme park? I'll say yes. I'm gonna give it a thumbs
good.
up. Was
Hey.
it morning? I needed something. It gave me the jolt that I needed.
I feel
So-
like yours was made with some care.
and a bit of spite, like most Italians will make, will
bit
make
of
coffee
spite.
for you.
This
So-
idiot, too good for the regular coffee.
Yeah. But no, I we did go. I love that little. I think it's in Mexico where you can dine and it is kind of like
Yeah.
nighttime.
The San Angelo Inn and Restaurant.
yeah, it's a really
This is a
cool.
Disney?
This is at Epcot.
And there's the so
In
you're
the
in
Dis-
Epcot
in the
Center,
Mexico
the
pavilion.
Mexican pavilion. It's
Yeah.
inside a temple, and inside the temple there's actually the Grand Fiesta Tour, which is the Mexican boat ride.
Yeah.
And the restaurant. The boat goes cruises through the restaurant, similar to in Disneyland, where there's the Blue Bayou restaurant inside Pirates of the Caribbean. So
Okay, I haven't been there. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I've
well,
been
there
to
you go.
Disneyland, but I didn't go there. Yeah.
Well, right on. So, and inside in that temple as well, I don't know if you tried it, did you go to La Cava del Tequila? There's a little tequila bar.
Oh no, but
It's
you would
hidden in
love
there.
that because you love tequila.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, there's a beautiful, it's like a little hidden little, it's called the cave, the tequila cave. It's the little sneaky spot.
Oh, man, I
where you
didn't
can
see
try
it.
some. Yeah, there's all kinds of little surprises like that. If you go to Norway, there's the Kringlag Bakery, which is
Yes.
I'm sure you've gone and had some schoolhouse bread in
Yes.
Norway. So there's lots of fun little small things too that you can do. There's the Rose and Crown pub in the UK. So some people like to either eat around the world or maybe drink around the world. I like to do a combo of both because I don't think you could drink.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't be able to make it. But we did do an eat and drink around the world, and that was fun.
There you go.
In Canada, you can stop, have yourself a poutine, good times,
Yeah.
or some ketchup chips. They have all the
Classics,
really
yeah.
Canadian classics there.
Caesar, you can get a Caesar.
I think you
No,
can.
no, can you?
no.
Maybe
In the restaurant.
I bet you in Le Cellier. You
yeah,
could get a
in that
Caesar.
restaurant, it looked like they had.
Yeah.
I will say this,
They
though.
don't have a Caesar stand outside. That would be awesome.
We went to Disney Springs, and this time we went to Ragland, which is the Irish pub.
Yeah.
And they pissed me off because I was there with my father-in-law and my mother-in-law. My father-in-law was turning 70, so we took him there.
Yeah.
And they've got Irish dancers and fiddle players and stuff like that. Really nice. But they put us they're kind of doing renovations in the front, and they put us right next to a burlap tarp that is like hiding you from the renovations, and we couldn't really see. And it was like, why are you seating us if this is like the worst spot ever?
Right.
Like it really, if they're all about the experience, that was not a positive experience.
Did you ask for a different table?
Yeah, and the woman's like, no, this is the only table. And like, well, can we not sit there? She goes, I have a reservation. She was really kind of snitty to me. And I was like, fuck you, fuck Raglan, and fuck these dancers. Even though the dancers had nothing to do with my bad experience, I had had enough.
And fuck burlap.
Burlap. But you know what? You're there. You're in Disney Springs. You could have just said fuck that place and gone somewhere else.
Yeah, but we wanted
There's
to...
so many options. This is a beautiful thing about
You're
Disney
right.
Springs. They have everything. Different tastes, whether it's a fine dining, a casual dining, you can get anything there. So I would just, next time that happens, just bounce.
But Bond, what you don't get is that once Marco's been snitty to, now he wants to stay there and make that person's life miserable,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So there's an important...
There's a commitment.
There's a value now in staying.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
over.
yeah, yeah.
The
I want
re-snit.
that person to have nightmares about me. Yeah, good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, yeah, there's tons of options there. I'd like to see you go more into the park and try some of the more themed dining experiences.
Okay.
Because I know you guys go and you're typically in Disney Springs.
Right.
But it's great that you worked yourself. It sounds like you did the monorail loop.
Yeah.
So you got a chance to go to the Grand Flitterin. You had a horrible coffee.
Yes.
There's the Polynesian. You could have got a Dole Whip there.
I think we got a cocktail at that bar that you were talking
Yeah,
about, like
that's-
the upstairs bar.
was it the Pineapple Lanai?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
We had
like by the pool and everything.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
It's
there,
gorgeous.
right? And then if you keep cruising around, you get to the Contemporary.
Which I don't know. We wanted to go to the. You know how they have like the restaurant on the 19th floor or something, really high up in the Contemporary. It was only open at night, so we couldn't go to it. So I think we just went to the gift shop. There wasn't any
Oh, that's a
dining.
bummer.
Yeah,
That's a bummer.
What could I have eaten there?
There's a couple restaurants. They have the I think the California Grill is there.
That's
It's a-
I think where we wanted to go.
Yeah,
and it was on the 18th floor and it was
it's
closed.
pretty fancy. Or maybe you guys would be interested in a character dining experience
Where
where
I
you get
eat-
to eat and meet Goofy and meet Chip and Dale and all your friends.
I mean, I eat with Ellie all the time.
Hey,
So.
barely.
Those are a lot of fun. They have ones that are exclusively for the princesses. If you want to meet a princess at Cinderella's royal table.
My
or-
niece just did that.
Did you have
she
a
did.
blast?
She had a great time, and my sister wanted her to get the Disney princess experience,
Mm-hmm.
so she was going to bring her to that place where they pick out your dress and they do your hair. But
The
she's
Bippity
like,
Boppity Boutique.
that's it. And she's like, it's $250. I don't American.
cheap.
She's like, so she went and she bought a dress at
Yeah.
one of the gift shops, and she's like, I'm going to dress you up. Put up her hair, put glitter in it, put her on the dress, and they went to this brunch with the
Amazing.
princesses. And my niece was never the wiser, and there's beautiful pictures of her dressed up
Yeah.
like a princess.
And if you're a kid, these character dining experiences
Yeah.
that's the big money because they really want to meet the characters.
Sure, of course.
It's an expensive meal, but it's totally worth it. We went to Disneyland and we did Goofy's Kitchen, and this was like about a year or so ago. And so my daughter got to meet Goofy and the big five: Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald, and Pluto. Those are like the big five. And they're just, the food was shit. It's hot dogs
Sure,
and pancakes
sure.
and waffles and garbage. But she got to spend real time, not just a hey shot, get out of here, like autographs and pictures and dancing, and it was really special.
that's
so I could
nice.
see how that would have been special for your niece.
All right, other than Universal and Disney, is
Yeah.
there another theme park that you would say has decent food?
No.
Okay, fair
I'm
enough.
sure there is.
Right.
It's tricky. I would, for me, if you go to like a Six Flags or a Cedar Point, it's just going to be what you know. It's going
Right.
to be a hot dog. It's going to be a churro. It's going to be
Nobody's venturing outside the formula in these places,
no,
I guess.
and
right?
and Universal is getting there. Disney
Okay.
it's a hallmark of Disney is to create these culinary experiences. Universal is getting there, but I think your standard like theme parks, no, not. I wouldn't say so much. Maybe some more so in Europe, where there's some unique dining experiences, but. For North American wise, I would say no. The going to Walt Disney World and having the opportunity to do some of these culinary or dining experience, I think is really unique. And this is why they do it. And listen, this is a reason why it's a gazillion dollars to go down there and take your kids.
Sure.
And
Right.
to have these experiences instead of going to the theme park in your local town and having a chili dog.
But chances are that's an amusement park, not a theme park.
Correct,
There you
Marco.
go. You're learning all the time.
I like
All right,
it.
Bondo, you told us all these great pieces of advice.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a restaurant or something to avoid that you'd be like, here's my take on it. Don't go to this place.
Ooh,
The food's not great.
A dining grenade.
Yeah, dining grenade.
In Disney Springs, there's all the restaurants that your kids are going to recognize from the mall in your town.
Right.
The Rainforest Cafe,
T-Rex.
Planet
Hollywood.
Thank you, Planet Hollywood. Grenade. Keep away.
Nightmare.
ESPN, food, Sports Zone.
Right.
Anything that you would see in Times Square.
AMC, watch a movie and get the
Yeah.
food experience.
Do not eat there.
Right.
Don't
okay.
eat it. Just skip it because you can eat that in your town. You're not
Right.
there to just eat at the Olive Garden. I
Fair.
can do that in my house. You know what I
I
mean?
would never do that in my house, in
Right.
my town, in anywhere else because I'd rather you slap me. If you're like, let's go to the Olive Garden, I'd rather you slap me in the face.
God willing, I'll have the opportunity one day. But my worry is exactly this: that some of these places are Olive Gardens in disguise. I know the word Olive Garden; it's a trigger word for
Sure.
me, and I'm like, avoid. But some of these, look, the Edison, Enzo's Hideaway Tunnel Bar. That sounds cool. And then it's just get in there, and I'm like, oh God, this is.
Enzo's Hideaway Tunnel Bar I went to. Once again, all the waiters were Italian, and the food was okay. It wasn't great. But the Edison was great. Wolfgang Puck's restaurant just opened. Was really good.
I was gonna ask you about
I have
that.
to say, like, I feel like the restaurants that have chefs' names on it, so Marimoto, Homecoming, Frontera Grill, and Wolfgang Puck's, my experience was always positive.
Okay, well
Yeah.
that's good for them.
Yeah.
I even had Blaze Pizza for the first time at Disney Springs, and it was pretty good.
Yeah?
Blaze Pizza. Don't go there. Eat
Sure.
somewhere else.
Right.
Because you can get Blaze Pizza in your town.
Yeah.
But at the time, there wasn't one here in
Right.
Toronto. So I was like, hey, let's try it. It's LeBron James's pizza. Let's give it a whirl. And it was pretty good.
There you go.
It was all right. But yeah, I would say keep away from those kind of places. If you don't do any character dining unless your kids are going to do it, it's very expensive and the food is terrible.
Okay.
So unless it's going to mean the world to your children, skip it. Don't bother. I would say, I'm trying to think of grenades here. Anything on Main Street is good news.
Okay, that's good to know.
Okay, if you're on Main Street, all the food on Main Street is good.
Really?
Yeah, you can't go wrong on Main
I
Street.
would have thought it's the opposite.
Me
that
too.
They're like,
The
well,
o-
we got them. We
Yeah.
got them. They're stuck here. May as well.
The
serve
only
them
place I
whatever.
would not eat at, don't
Okay.
go to. Here's the one grenade is Tony's, which is the big beast. If you walk into the Magic Kingdom, it's the big restaurant in the square on the right hand side. It's where a lot of families go to eat and then after watch fireworks. They know that the families are going to congregate there.
Right.
So the food is kind of trash. Don't eat there. Tony's,
All I
skip
can
it.
think every 2 minutes that Chris talks, I think about stuff that my wife and I would have a fight about in public. I'm just thinking about like the kids like pizza. Just have. I heard that place is garbage. It doesn't matter. We eat garbage. I didn't come all the way here for. I can just picture us losing our minds.
There's a lot of that, but you know what you can do to diffuse that, Ali?
Look at other couples fighting and feel better.
just
about
feel better
yourself.
about your
Yeah,
relationship.
Yeah.
You just do a little bit of prep.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
I mean, TripAdvisor is great, but a place like Disney Food Blog, which is a great site and that talks about every Disney dining experience in detail.
Right. Sure.
So you know what is going to work for you personally, what's going to work for your kids, what's going to work for your diet, your whatever. All that information is out there, and a little bit of research will go a long way.
It's the
You know,
old adage
if
that
you-
I subscribe to.
Yeah.
Failing to plan is planning to fail.
There
So
you
you
go.
just
Agreed.
you conquer that.
Well, especially with the kids. The kids are the key, right?
Yeah.
Because you can go and float around there and be like, I'm going to eat whatever the fuck I want. If this is garbage, whatever. But your kids just won't eat it if they don't like it. And you got to put some food in their
Sure.
mouth. So it's a pain in the ass.
Well, or do what I do: stuff a mortadella sandwich down your pants before you go into the park.
Just bring the mortadella sandwich in.
Oh, you
And,
don't have to smuggle it in.
You kind of got to. It's a. If you're overt with it, like I'm bringing these fucking sandwiches in, they're gonna take away your sandwiches.
I gotta say
you
that
put it.
the
If you say it's for
timing
the
on that-
kids, you put in a thing. They're not gonna touch your penis. Yeah, they're not. They're good.
The
like
timing on that was really terrible because he goes, "You gotta shove something in this kid's face." It's a pain in the ass. You go, I just put a mortadella sandwich in my pants.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are we still talking about stuff to get the kids?
No,
eating?
for me personally, I do it on the best of days.
Yeah, please don't
Yeah.
give my kids your dick sandwich.
No,
Sandwich.
all right. Now you guys are just
Well, no,
twisting
this is what
my
you-
words.
I had to call it out. Somebody for sure.
How many sandwiches can you fit down there? What's the smuggle rate?
3.
3?
2 small paninos and a really long baguette. All right.
On a hot day, that must be a delight.
Bondo, tell us where we can hear your podcast.
You can check us out at We Like Theme Parks Podcast. We're on all the places you can get your podcasts,
iTunes, Stitcher, you name it.
all that stuff.
Okay.
Check us out there.
Fantastic. Well, listen, thank you for being a guest. I have a special little something for both of you because I knew we were going to do this episode, and I was just in Orlando, so I have a little present, so bear with me. You
Oh
guys
my
talk-
goodness.
I know what it is. I saw it on
Did
top
you
of
see
the
it already?
dryer, but I didn't put
Look
it
at this
together until
poor
right
bastard
now.
trying to get out of here.
Look, this is my tip.
You
right?
saw this? What is it?
Unbelievable.
What is this?
I knew it.
From Bongos.
You know
So you
what?
already know how I feel about bongos.
Yeah,
Why,
yeah.
did you open it up? Did you see what's
my
inside?
God.
Oh, should
I
we be
didn't know
taping
this.
this?
I
in the
thought that
box?
was really
That's
appropriate for you.
hilarious. It's Gloria Estefan, signed CD, Christmas Through Your Eyes.
I just thought you could use a Christmas album.
Funny. Well, I was gonna say to you,
Yeah.
because you were like you were talking about the Disney Springs restaurant, and you said bongos, and I go, oh, that's where you got the bongos on your
Right.
on your dryer from. I was about to say it. I would have ruined our gift.
I saw this and I was like, there's nothing better to get Ali than a Christmas album
Pretty hilarious.
in August.
All right, what do we got here?
Yeah. Bondo.
my- salt and pepper shakers of Bongos?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Come on,
I'm a
everybody. Can you put that conga? I can't wait. Beautiful. Thank you. Beautiful. Like, what is this, ceramic?
I don't know.
Oh, my
Oh man,
goodness.
Arbolito de Navidad. You got
Oh,
that
it's
track
on the
on
side.
here?
Bongos at Cubana Cafe.
You got
Oh,
it.
my
You got
goodness.
it.
love
I wish I
bakers.
liked the restaurant more, but I like you guys, so I got you a little something.
That was super thoughtful.
All right, Bondo, before we leave, we're going to do What's in Marco's Mouth. You're going to be witness to it.
What's in Marco's mouth? That's right. What's in Marco's mouth? It's nothing dirty. Willie guessing, Willie messing. Let's find out. What's in Marco's mouth?
All right,
Bracer is my own.
Chris, you're going to witness this.
This is exciting.
You can attest to our listeners that I cannot see with this blindfold on.
He is wearing a blindfold.
Okay.
Marco, how many fingers am I holding up?
No idea.
There you go. It works.
Okay,
Okay.
here we go. All right, so the way this goes is I like to put my fingers in his mouth when I pee, and he does not enjoy that at all. And that makes sense. That makes sense that he wouldn't. Now,
There's a lot of, I hear unfolding.
you smell stuff?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, good. Okay, smell it. This is the product, okay?
Okay, it's got a strong, pungent smell to it.
You've got
Yep.
a strong punch.
Yeah,
It smells you now.
Hate
Here.
it. Okay.
It is on a crostini, so I'm just
Okay.
going to tell you that. Okay?
Okay.
So you cannot put it in your hand.
Oh, you're putting it in my hand?
I'm putting
Okay.
this in your hand. It's
Jesus,
on a
Ali.
crostina.
Do I have it the right way? I
You
can't see, like-
okay, I forgot about that. You have it on your face. Lick your finger right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now this is it on a crostini right here.
Oh, I know these flavors.
You know these
Feels
flavors,
like
do you?
Hell's Kitchen when they do their palate test.
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly
goodness,
like that.
this is it.
And in fact, Marco often does feel like he's in hell, he says.
Yeah. Okay, so it's on a crostini, but I'm guessing what's on the crostini, not
Correct.
Is the crostini?
Well, I just told you the other thing is a crostini.
I know, but is it plain the crostini, or is it?
Yeah,
Did
some
you give me an
olive
all?
oil.
Did you give me like a garlic one?
Okay,
that's
it's
gonna
got
take-
rosemary and sea
Okay,
salt.
God damn it. Okay. Okay, so it's sweet. It's a sweet, creamy, like a saucy kind of cream. It's a bit thicker, like a pureed something. It has lime in it. I can taste the lime, but it's got something like sumac or paprika in it. It's like a baba ganoush. Is it like a baba ganoush? It's got that consistency, like a hummus, but you wouldn't do hummus again because that wouldn't be fair. So,
Okay, let's say I did hummus. The key is what kind of hummus is it, buddy? That's what we're talking about here.
is it a red pepper hummus? No. It's got lime in it. And it's got, shit, I shouldn't eat the bread. Now I'm going to be crunching all the time. Is there more you can put on here, or is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bread looks good. Never mind.
Chris wants
Well,
it.
that's a big dollop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I want him to.
Oh,
Ah,
here,
son
I'll
of
get
a
that grenade
gun.
for you. You want to reload them up there?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
good.
I think that's good. I
It's a
think we're good.
amount.
Okay, Marco, I'm just going to put it in your mouth. Is that all
I
right?
fucking hate this. Now my friends, okay.
I just want to slide this in your mouth, okay? Just open up, buddy.
Bondo,
There you
get
go,
right in
dude.
character.
Did this fall on the floor and he put it in my mouth?
Not on
That's
the
what I
floor.
wanna-
Not on the floor. Just on my crotch.
Okay, this is a hummus. It's sweet. It's got a sweetness to it. Like a cream. Like
Bondo, I'm going to let you look
Yeah, I
at it
wanna
while
see what kind.
while he
Okay.
struggles through these.
so it's not what you're saying, it's not chickpea. It's something.
That's not what I'm saying. Who said I was saying that?
Is it a flavored hummus? Is that what I'm trying
That's
to guess?
what I'm
Okay,
yeah.
so it's a zesty lime, paprika hummus.
Okay, take off your blindfold.
God damn it.
And be embarrassed by yourself. Never seen this before. Thai style coconut hummus. Thai style. Yeah, coconut hummus.
Coconut
hummus. You didn't say coconut milk. You didn't say curry. It has curry in it.
Yeah.
Garlic, shallot, lemongrass, sugar, salt, kaffir lime. That's the only thing you got. Galangal is a type of ginger, you could say. Coconut flakes are in here. I mean, you're an embarrassment. You know what I mean?
I mean, you put it on a crostini.
Put that blindfold back on and walk around the house in shame. Banging the stuff.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, no, I didn't know what else
Listen,
to put it on.
I shit the bed on this. I'll fully take the blame. It was not an
There's
easy
another
one.
possibility that this brand didn't do a good job at flavoring it with the...
No. I'm not going to blame them. But there is chickpeas. Okay, so it was hummus.
Yeah,
I did.
that's what I
did
said.
identify hummus.
Yeah.
Just all the flavors.
Just wanted you to get... look, there's 4 things here. You got one of them.
Okay.
There's a coconut. No. Chili. No, you said paprika.
I did say it was sweet, though. God damn it, I said it was sweet.
Yeah, but
why didn't I go in the
nowhere
coconut?
and then the lime leaves. Lime.
Ma porca putana. Like, this is a lot of flavors you're expecting me to be able
Coconut.
to...
If you had just said coconut.
You know what?
Just-
You've screwed me over with coconut before. Now, when I'm not sure, I can just say
Everything's
coconut. It's
coconut.
coconut.
But
It's
does
got
the coconut taste like now that you know that it's coconut?
Do you wanna
did it
try
really-
some?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
give me
please,
one.
please,
Does it
please.
really like?
No, it tastes like bullshit. Is what it tastes like a hummus? Bullshit. No, that was
This
in my
is what
mouth, dude.
happened.
Yeah,
These
that's
look-
just fine. I'll
these
get
These
it
look
up.
good. These Sobeys,
Yeah.
breaded and everything.
I hope Amanda likes
Okay,
these.
let's-
All right.
Let's-
She loves all kinds of hummus. Well, that's our show for this week. Our special show with Chris Bond from We Like Podcast. You can hear him crunching in the background. What do you think, Chris?
I don't taste a lot of the coconut.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
okay, so
Thank
maybe
you.
the brand
Did
failed
you
us.
try it? Have you tried it?
try
Can
it?
you try it? And, okay, he's not going to try it. All right. So,
You can taste the Thai part, but
Yeah.
it's not a coconut.
yeah,
Oh, no
Yeah,
kidding.
I'm with Marco on this
there you
one.
go.
Yeah.
Well,
Coconut milk.
half right.
Second ingredient, coconut milk.
Hey,
Can you
you
believe
gotta
it?
lose and use more. Well, there you have it. Thank you for being a part of our special episode. Catch his podcast. We love theme parks.
We like theme parks.
Oh, we like
don't love them.
fuck,
We like
oh,
them.
God damn it! I got it wrong, man.
Check us out at We Like Theme Parks, where we'd love to check us out.
Is that on all social media?
Oh yeah, it's on Instagram, Facebook, all that.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to the podcast Eat and Drink. I'm Ali Hassan.
Marco Timpano.
Until we eat again.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
We hope you got your fill of Eat and Drink with Ali Hassan and Marco Timpano. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at Podcast Eat Drink. Email them your cocktail and food suggestions to podcasteatdrink@gmail.com. Until the next episode, bottoms up.